Hello, I wanted to share with you what me and my wife decided to do to insulate our pole barn. And I say my wife because she's a smart one. And she agreed with this, so it must be good. So after doing some research, aka playing YouTube videos, this is what we've come up with. We have a 28 by 48 pole barn that we want to insulate and finish out. We really looked at spray foam, and I do think that is the best solution for a pole barn. It's a good R value, and it just fills in all those cracks really well, and it seals everything up for a pole barn. A disadvantage is cost. So we came up with this solution. It's about 20% less than a spray foam, having guys do the spray foam, and we can do it ourselves. We can save some money that way. It is pretty time consuming, but I think it gets about 80 to 90% of what spray foam does, a little cheaper, and you can do it yourself. So what we decided to do, and I saw this on YouTube when I was researching different options. So we have this closed cell foam board. This is pink. I think it's made by Owens Corning, but it comes in a variety of different manufacturers. This is 1.5 inches, and of course we chose 1.5 inches to be flush with the 2x6 framing in the pole barn. So it's nice and flat when you put it in there. What we did is cut these out about 1 to 1.5 inches less than the gap. And then we use the spray foam, closed cell spray foam. This is Great Stuff Pro. Comes in a couple different manufacturers. But this is the stuff we use, and it works pretty well. Spray foam the gaps, and we did that to make it as airtight as possible for the top and bottom. And then if there are any gaps in here, we filled that out. A lot of times we'll just stick this board underneath this pole so there's no gaps there. Other times when they match up, we'll just put this Great Stuff foam in the middle, seal it all up. So we run the spray foam in the gaps. And then we take this tape that's used to the outside of buildings to seal it up. So we put that on top. So the combination of the spray foam along with this tape should make it airtight as possible. In addition to that, so that's just step one, and we're actually doing that before we put in the 2x4 walls, which will go in here, which we use to put on the sheetrock and finish it out. So the 2x4 walls will go right here, and then once those 2x4 walls are in, we plan to use this rock wool insulation. We chose this over fiberglass. It has good qualities for reducing mold. It doesn't grow. But the advantage of this over fiberglass is it's a little bit noise canceling, reduces the noise from outside, and that will be very beneficial with a pole barn with a steel roof. When it rains, you hear it. So with this stuff up there, it'll really reduce the sound. So we went with this stuff. We got this at Lowell's, rock wool. And this will fit in between the 2x4s, 16-inch on center. Now, with that, there is this gap, 1.5 inch gap, where the insulation, this rock wool will fit against this foam board. So you're gonna have an 1.5 inch gap, and I mean, that's kind of beneficial. Then you can see all your wiring. And I think that's code. I'll have to check, see if that's legal. I think once we get this done, it's going to be pretty airtight. This does, I think, I have to check the code again, but I think this does pass as a vapor barrier for the code in Minnesota, so we shouldn't have to put any plastic on the other side of our insulation. For the ceiling, we also plan to use this board, which isn't cheap, but it's cheaper than spray foam. We put like a 2-inch all the way across the top, and then we're going to put whatever we need, R39 or whatever, of this stuff on top of that rock wool. We did think of the blow-in fiberglass insulation, So I hope the video has helped you a little bit on to think of how you want to insulate your pole barn. I think this is probably the best. Besides the spray foam, I think this gets you pretty close. It's definitely not the cheapest, but I think it probably is the best solution that you can do yourself and still have very good insulation. Have a great day.